How are we doing, my friend?
Brother.
Happy New Year, Ben. Happy New Year, Brian. Happy New Year to all the others that come on the show tonight and in the chat. I hope you had a good Xmas, New Year's, and 2026 is underway. Woo!
And it started off with a banger, Stel. Start the year as you mean to go on, they say.
Yeah, listen, bring on 2027.
You've already had enough of 2026. But still, I'm trying to think like what actually happened in that game, and I'm struggling to think of more than one or two things. Like, seriously, what happened in that game?
For me, Frank's a coward. Just a coward of a manager. He's not Tottenham DNA, if Tottenham DNA still exists. Because a lot of people say the Spurs way, but then some people argue what is the Spurs way. But if you believe in the Spurs way, then he's not that. Never has been, and he never will be. I can see it. I've had a good 5 months to see how he just goes about his business and what he wants to do. And I can categorically say he's not Spurs DNA. So if fans are hoping that if we spend 400 or 500 million on Frank, and we're going to start playing this really exciting on the front foot, possession-based attacking football, sorry, you're not going to get that. You'll get a better team. You'll get a team that wins more games, 100%, but you're not going to get that brand of football. So if fans are waiting for that style of football, it's not going to happen with Frank. Not a chance.
I think it will still.
No, it won't, Brian.
Listen, mate, time will tell. You could be right, I could be right. We'll see what happens.
Brian, you're saying that because you really, really like Frank, and I get it. There's a lot of fans that really, really like Frank. But for me, Frank's going to be another Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. What I mean by that is average manager, spent £400 or £500 million at Man United, got them in the top four. I think he came second in one season, correct me if I'm wrong. But that was it. That's the ceiling, because
I'll snatch your hand off of that right now, Stel, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, listen, there's a lot of fans that will be happy with that, but we were told by the board that we really liked that Europa Cup and we want to try and win the Premier League and the Champions League and we want to push on. If you throw 300-400 million at Frank, he'll get us top four. I don't doubt it for 1 second, because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did it, which means any average manager can do it if you're prepared to keep spending, right? You'll get the odd manager that doesn't do it, but most managers, naturally, if you spend that level of money on fairly decent players, the squad itself is better. The players are better, naturally. So you're going to move up the table just by that factor alone. But for me, and I think this is where it comes down to the whole division amongst fans, what is it you want? If you want to be a top four club, then yeah, keep Frank. Give him 3-4 years, spend the money. If you want to win trophies, and you want to see silver at this club, Frank's not the guy. I'm telling you, he's not that guy.
So listen, I understand what you're saying, but I think with a trophy, I think he's got a chance of the next season, if he's still here, obviously, Carabao Cup. We'll see if we get past Villa in the FA Cup. We could easily get a cup. I'm not saying we will, but again, like we said, Stel, this has been a thing for years and years of this football club, and you and I are someone that has been very, very adamant and outspoken about our feelings towards it. And now we go into it in January with this is the first impressions last, and ENIC have to come out swinging in this one and show that whether it's the wages that increase, the quality of player, both. It's a big month for everyone associated with the football club, and that's what we got to see. Like I've been saying, but still, this time for Frank, we've got a new manager in.
One second, Brian. Sorry, Stel, can you turn up your mic? Do you have anything that you...
I'm just listening to you guys.
Yeah, I know, but you will be talking.
My mic's on full, guys.
Oh, okay.
It's on full. I'll bring it close to me. I'll bring the mic close to me. Is that better?
Yeah, I think so.
Like I said, we've come into the club where literally everything is new. Everything is new. So it's a big month for this football club, and that's why I keep saying on February the 1st we'll have a clear indication of what the kind of process is or what the ambition is. It's their first chance to make a statement, and we'll see what happens. But like I've been saying, this whole game, that game was shocking. Frank,
but Brian,
go on, Sal.
I don't disagree that Enoch are going to they might not do these things, but Frank's not going to be that guy that fans think he is. I've seen enough. I've watched for 5 months. You can tell within the first 3-4 months roughly what kind of manager you've got. Okay, now whether they're successful with it is different as to just observing 3-4 months, because better players make you better. The manager being at the club longer gives him a bit of stability and understanding the dynamics and the environment of the club. And just because you're seeing a style doesn't mean results match the style. I'm seeing nothing from Frank in terms of style, like nothing. I'll give an example today. Go to a back three, push Porro, push Spence high up the pitch, make them a threat. Play Paulinho in the 6, protecting the back three. Play either Bentancur and Gray in the 8. Kudus, you tuck into the 10 because we don't have Xavi Simons. Play 2 up top, Richarlison Moani, Richarlison Tell, whoever you want. That is a more attacking way of going about the business. That is a more attacking way of saying, right, let's go and pose ourselves in this game. For weeks and weeks and weeks, I've heard fans say to me, but we can't do that because Dragusin's injured. And if he goes to a back three with Danzo and Danzo or Romero gets injured, then we've got no one on the bench. Well, you've got Dragusin and you've got Danzo and you've got Van de Ven and you've got Romero and you've got Ben Davies fit. There's no excuses. So he's choosing to play the back four, and he's doing it in a way where we're not a forward attacking team. I've just given an example of how you can be much more attacking with the players we've got. Now, whether it works is a different conversation, right? But the fact is, we're not even giving it a go. Today was shocking, man. And It's not the first time. I'm sitting there watching it, and I'm saying to myself, what the hell am I watching, man? This is awful. This is awful. And to simply say it's because of the players, that for me doesn't wash, because I can see another way of setting up this team that just makes us more attacking. Right? We still might draw, we might even lose. But the intent to go there and just go for it, win the game of football, even with 30 minutes to go, 20 minutes to go, it's still 0-0. Go for it. No, we're just going to stick with the 4-3-3 that isn't working, and we'll take off one winger for another winger, and hopefully that works. And it didn't work. It got worse. So it's things like that, and I've seen that happen many, many times. Like Nottingham Forest away, we're 2-0 down, 30 minutes to go. One goal and the game changes. He brings on Ben Davies and Paulinho.
Yeah, don't remind us. We were there.
This is the manager, Brian. This is the manager making those decisions. It's not Enoch.
That part I agree with you. I've even said what the formation you've just said about the get Porro and Spence going forward. That's what I want to see. That is actually what I've been saying, and I was one of them still that said I don't think he's doing it because of Dragusin coming back. Well, now he is back. I would have loved to. I wholeheartedly agree with what you've just said. Wholeheartedly.
If we were going away at Anfield, away at the Emirates, away at Stamford Bridge, away at St James's Park, I totally get it, because they're tough grounds. It's a hard, hostile place to go and play football. I get being pragmatic and not being over-offensive. I understand it. It makes sense to me, because we probably will get ripped if we do it.
We got ripped when we did do it.
We're talking about Brentford, Ben.
Yeah.
A team that sold Mbeumo, sold Wisa. They've sold Ivan Toney. This is the same Brentford that Ange Postecoglou beat 3 times when they had those top players, right? This isn't about Ange. I'm just mentioning it because most of those players are still here. And we beat Brentford home and away. We've gone to Brentford today. Like, I even thought against Crystal Palace we weren't that good. I thought we got lucky. I thought we honestly caught life against Crystal Palace. The last 15 minutes against Palace, they knackered because they had that midweek game against Arsenal, and it showed. Because we opened them up. Odebert hit the post. We had a ball that went across the box. We should have scored. You know, Spurs could have won it by a few more goals in the last 10, 15 minutes when Palace got tired. But for most of the game, Palace were the better team. And today, that second half, I mean, I sat there and I thought, you can't string a pass together. And I've seen that so many times this year. And do you know why we can't pass very well? It's because we don't practice it. We're not a passing football team. Last season and the year before, our passing metrics, all metrics were better. They were significantly better. And it's because we were a passing, attacking team. Now, we weren't good
Players
at it
can't forget how to pass,
Exactly.
though. Like,
Ben, there's something called repetition of the practice. You've got to keep repeating things because that's what practicing is. You know, what can I give you an example that you can relate to? If you go to the gym, right, and you can bench press 100 kilograms, and then you don't go gym for 3-4 months, you ain't going to walk back in and bench press 100. You're probably going to have to start at 65, 70, get used to that. Right, now I can go back up to 8, and you build up.
it's a bit different making a 5-yard pass. Like, seriously, a 5-yard pass, surely any professional footballer should be able to do that.
And do remember, still, they are in training. These are, like you said, professional elite athletes that making 5-yard passes still. They should be able to do. Yes, the tactics may have been wrong and there wasn't movement or whatever, but there were some passes today that were so easy. Even like Ben mentioned, the Crystal Palace one last Sunday with the ball for Bergvall to Richarlison. They are passes that a professional footballer should be able to.
You're going to have bad games, right, where the passing goes to pot, right? It's just you had a bad day at the office, it happens. But consistently throughout this season, our passing has been awful, just like the XG. The XG is horrendous. Why? It's because we don't play attacking football.
Stel, you told me you weren't going to mention XG today.
Do you know what? I tried. I really tried. But, you know, if a metric is consistent, that means you're consistently not working on it.
Yeah.
And with the passing stats, we're not a passing team. Like, you see the way we play football. We don't try and be that one-touch, two-touch, fluid, forward passing, play it into the channels, Look, like small things. You play the ball to the fullback plays into midfield, the fullback makes a run up the wing, the midfielder plays it back to the winger, an overlapping run. I saw today Coyote for Brentford and Sade for Brentford. They did it multiple times. Go back and watch, especially Coyote. Why did they keep doing it? Because they practice it. You can see that they do that in training because they were doing it the whole game.
Still, that was a much better example.
You rarely see our players do it because I'm telling you guys, we're not practicing that enough. Just like last season, defensively, we were awful. We were so bad at defending last season. Why? We just didn't practice it enough. Ange didn't teach or coach defending hardly at all, maybe 30% of the coaching session at most. Whereas this year, you can see Frank, he's definitely coaching defending because from set pieces, from attacks, we look a lot more solid. So you can see it's being coached. I can see it. But when it comes to passing the ball, keeping the ball, flowing football, it's not coached, guys. That's why the passing's crap, because that bit's not being coached.
Still, I have to say, I love that you did your gym explanation to try and explain our lack of passing, and then just gave the perfect analogy with the Brentford players. You're like 100 kilograms, 80 kilograms if you don't go to the gym, and then you go on about Brentford doing it exactly what you wanted multiple times.
Yeah, Brentford today, in the game today, Brian.
Yeah, I know. That's the example you should have done rather than the gym.
All right, okay. All right, sorry, yeah, I get you now.
Stel, answer me this. You know, I think a lot of Spurs fans are very worried about what the rest of this season looks like. Tactics, obviously non-existent right now. Would you get rid of the manager right here, right now, today?
No, because for me, you're not going to attract a manager that's going to be the long-term solution, which is what we need. We need a long-term solution. You're not going to trap that guy now.
Well, Maresca's been sacked today. Would you take Maresca?
No, he's not the long-term solution for Spurs.
You wouldn't take him?
No, I wouldn't, no. I personally, and I think this comes down to personal preference, each fan to their own. I'm not here to tell anyone what you should think, but for me, I love winners, Ben. I love winners because you can't teach a winner how to win. You can't teach that DNA. It's in your fabric as a human being. And
what winner would come to Spurs though? Now, which winner? Who?
Well, there's no reason why we can't go and get an out of contract Glasner in the summer, for example. Why can't we go and get Glasner?
The thing is with Glasner, a lot of Spurs fans have problems with not playing front foot football, being able to break down low blocks. Glasner will have those exact problems at Tottenham Hotspur.
What we need, Ben, is a manager that's a winner that we're going to back over 4 or 5 years. For example, and I go back to this, sacking Conte was an absolute sin.
Correct.
And the fans who turned against him instead of turning against Levy, because I won't forget that, it was a choice. Conte or Levy, which one are you going to go after? And our fans went after Conte. I can't believe it, man. And now look at us. Look at us now. From fourth and a Harry Kane that wanted to be at the club to a club that hasn't got one decent striker, and we're nowhere near fourth. That's the consequences of fans turning against Conte. Don't get me wrong, he wanted it out as well, but I think that's partly because we turned on him. But I want a winner, Ben, because if I look at Spurs in the last 40 years, we've won the FA Cup in 91, we won the League Cup in 99, we won the League Cup in 2008, and we won the Europa Cup in 2005.
25.
Sorry, Brian?
2025.
Sorry, yeah, 2025. All those managers, they were all winners before they came to Spurs. Terry Venables at Barcelona, George Graham at Arsenal, Juan de Ramos at Seville, Ange Postecoglou at Celtic and Asia. Mm-hmm. They all won before they came to Spurs. So I'm not surprised they won something at Spurs. It was in their DNA. And I think if we backed Conte, we properly backed him, he would have won us the league eventually. And if we kept Mourinho, I would have loved to have seen what he would have done with Harry Kane and Gareth Bale against Pep Guardiola in a one-off final. I would have loved to have seen what Jose did. But again, we didn't back these guys. We got rid of them. And now we've got a manager who I don't think is rubbish. I don't think Frank's crap because we've got a really good away record. You can't be crap if you've got a good away record. But he's not the guy that I think fans want. And I don't think he's the guy that's going to take us to where we want. I know, in my heart, I know he's not going to be the guy that's going to give me what I want. I want that free-flowing, attacking football.
Well, Glasner won't give that to you either.
Who?
Glasner won't give that to you either.
Do you know what, Ben? I think fans underestimate what Glasner's style of play is. Go back and watch the semi-final against Aston Villa in the FA Cup last year, the way Crystal Palace went at them. I don't mind if we're pragmatic but brilliant in the transition, because that for me is a form of attacking football that I can buy into. Mm-hmm. Like we were for those 3-4 months when Conte first came. Nobody was complaining about that football. Nobody was sitting here saying, oh, this Conte football's rubbish. We loved it. Whether you're a bit more defensive but brilliant on the transition, or whether you're that free-flowing front foot attacking manager, whichever it is, a manager like that we are going to back for 4 years, that I know is a winner, for me, that's what I want, because I know that's going to get me where I want as a fan. And I haven't had that. I haven't had that once. I had it a little bit under Ange, but we were, we fell apart in the league. We almost had it under Poch. We're kicking ourselves for not backing Poch now, because that was the one, wasn't it? He was the one that got closest to winning everything, and we didn't want to back it.
I was saying to Brian still, basically that was the crossroads moment for us
100%.
when Pochettino said we need this long and painful rebuild. Because we kept cutting corners and putting band-aids on the problem, we're still in this rebuild phase right now, 10 years later. That's the whole problem that we're in right now.
I said before, when Martin Jol came in, Martin Jol was the catalyst for this, and we started building up and up and up and up and up. And then we got there, and now we're right back to like where Martin Jol was, where we need to
no, we're lower than that.
Yeah, but we need to start rebuilding again. But still, I want to go back to something you said about seriously backing a manager for 4 years.
Yeah.
As we know, this football club isn't known for doing that. No. It just simply isn't. We had read that for 4 years. Can we say he was heavily backed correctly? We all know Tevez and Cahill, Saha and Nelson. Poch had the opportunity. This is the other thing where it comes down to, even if we did get rid of Frank, he's gone. Do we trust, and this is why January I keep saying is huge, to see what Edic are made of, can we trust at the moment this ownership to say, right, 4 years and we're going to back you the way we should have been backing you or backing managers previously? This is why, again, January is just massive for this football club. It's huge for the fans, for the players, for the manager, for the board. It's just a massive... I'd say it's probably the biggest January in our recent history. With everything.
We can say that all we want, and we know that, you know, raise the wages, raise the transfer budget, whatever, but who's going to come to this?
Yeah.
That's the whole point.
See, another problem you've got is what player's going to want to play this kind of football as well?
That's what I'm saying.
You know, it's not attractive. At the same time, what player's going to want to come to Spurs if another top 6 club comes in, knowing that we're not really a serious football club when it comes to showing ambition as well? So, in an ideal world, and again, there's no such thing, but I'm going to try and be idealistic. I don't know why, but I'm going to do it. You back Frank in January in the hope that we finish in a European place, because this club has to be in Europe. I don't buy this crap when fans say, oh, being out of Europe will do us the world of good. No, it won't, because then you lose Mickey van der Ven. You lose your best players. You've got to stay in Europe to attract good players, to keep your best players, and to keep your club at that top table. So you back Frank in the hope that he can finish in a European place. And then in the summer, you've just got to make a massive decision. Do you want to be a trophy-winning football club? If the answer is yes, then you've got to bring in a manager that's got pedigree and let him have the rebuild. Or if it's, look, we just want to get back to top 4, and what I hear some fans say, just stabilise the club, whatever that means, just stabilise the club, then keep Frank, spend 400 million, eventually he'll get us top 4 with stable, and then you kick on from there. But it comes down to what fans want, what the club wants, and I think we're all in different places, because for me, I want silverware, and I want to see a manager that does it in a style that I can get on board with. But having said that, big contradiction now. If we win 1-0 every week playing stinky football and we win the Premier League, I'll take it.
Exactly.
I don't think it's possible, though. I don't think that's possible.
No, it's not. But it's just so hard to watch at the moment, and I can take it. I'm with you, so I can take it if we're winning. I can take this football if we're winning. But if we're losing and drawing, and the results that we're getting, what are we here for? Like, it's just, I get excited every time Spurs play, and then when the game starts, I'm like, why the hell did I get so excited all week to watch the game?
You know what, Ben? There are definitely players at this club that shouldn't be at this club, right? They're simply not good football players, and they're wearing a Spurs shirt, and it's killing us.
Well, Brennan Johnson's gone now.
Well, we better bring in someone that can replace those goals.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, you saw what happened today. We made 2 or 3 attacking subs, no output. So I hope we bring in someone that can score some goals. People are saying, oh, get Savinho. Well, he went off injured today against Man City. So
was he injured, did he? He went off injured?
With the muscle injury, yeah.
Wow.
So,
your Daily Savinho saved.
And Savinho is their output. Because as much as we need someone that can play wide, we need goals. This team is screaming for an attacker that can score goals. There's no point bringing in wingers that can dribble and pass and create. That's great. We need wide players that can do that and score. Basically, what Heung-min Son did. Brilliant winger, but he could invert, and you knew he could score a goal. We need a player like that. And Semenyo, the one that's probably going to Manchester City, was the perfect player, because I think he's the 2nd or 3rd highest goal scorer in the league at the moment.
Yeah.
That's the kind of wide player you want. A brilliant winger that can also score goals. And I don't know if Savinho is that. He was that at Girona, but he hasn't been that in the Premier League. So I'm 50-50 with him. But whatever we do, guys, there are players at this club that are seriously underperforming. And for me, it's because of the way we play. Jed Spence, we saw against Liverpool how direct and attacking he was. He was causing Liverpool all sorts of problems. That's the Jed Spence that used to play for Nottingham Forest. That's how he was at Nottingham Forest. So the player is there. An attacking wing back is there. Pedro Porro is much better than what we're seeing. And I think the way the wing-backs at this club have been coached, both under Ange, inverted, and now under Frank, this pragmatic nonsense, it's killing the fullbacks at this club. Imagine we had Pochettino or Conte with these wing-backs. We'd be fire, man, on the flanks. We'd be much better. But this is why I do question Frank, and rightly so. One last thing, guys, because I know there's loads of people that want to wait, and I don't want to take up everyone's time. 100% it was a foul on Archie Gray. How the hell we never got a penalty is beyond me. But I also think that ball that went through, that Romero stumbled on and then somehow got it back, I thought that was a handball as well, if I'm honest with you. So I thought they probably cancel each other out a little bit.
Agree.
Well, Stel, don't worry, because Thomas Frank has said today in his post-match press conference that you could see Dominic Solanke by the end of the month. So,
yeah, okay.
so
Mate, the guy's allergic to grass. I'm telling you. He gets back onto the training gets back onto the grass, and then he gets a set.
I think there's something just funny with the North London grass, though. It's just the grass in North London. But Stel, thanks for coming on today, mate.
Speak to you later, bro.
Yeah, Happy New Year, guys. Have a good one.
Happy New Year to you, mate.
Bye.